Hello everyone, it is Hunter from Gaming by Gamers, and today we're going to be looking at my top 10 Portal Easter egg list. Portal has always had this mysterious vibe to me, so I'm very excited to finally sit down and look at some of the best Easter eggs this game has to offer. So as always, sit back, relax, grab a snack, and let's check out some of the coolest Easter eggs in the Portal games. Coming in at number 10 on our list is going to be the Terminator references in the Portal 2 co-op campaign. During one of the campaign missions, you can peek through a cracked door and shoot a portal at the wall. Once you do, turn around and shoot another portal at the floor and jump in. You'll see a previously hidden arm of Atlas in this weird looking tube that's not featured anywhere else in the game. Well, that's because it's actually a reference to this scene in Terminator 2, but that's not it. While playing as Atlas, if you jump into the water, you have a small chance of getting this death animation. A clear homage to the ending of Terminator 2, where Sarah Connor lowers the Terminator into the steel, though the animation of Atlas doing it isn't as much of a tearjerker. Number 9 is going to be this keyboard Easter egg in Portal 1. Towards the end of the game, you'll come across this office-looking room with not much of a view. If you look at the keyboard that's sitting on the desk, you'll notice a few of the keys are highlighted in yellow, specifically A, S, D, E, R, H, N, I, and P. People online discovered that it was an anagram of Adrian Shepard, the protagonist of the almost forgotten Half-Life Opposing Force. It was really cool of Valve to include something like this, except they didn't. The developers later said in the commentary that the Adrian Shepard thing was a red herring, and what they were really going for was ASHPD, Aperture Science Handheld Portal Device, which, while not as fun, kinda makes more sense, because the original letters that were highlighted also make the anagram hard penis. So yeah, maybe it was us just looking into things. Moving on to number 8, we have a spoiler for Portal 1. So if you haven't beaten it already, well, it came out in 2007, so hurry up. And if you still don't want it spoiled, skip to this part in the video. Alright, moving on. Our number 8 Easter egg is going to be the companion cube on the main menu screen. There are some moments in gaming that just destroy you, and having to kill the companion cube was easily one of the top 5. If you've beaten the game, you've seen this cutscene where you finally get your cake and the companion cube is sitting right there. But if you wait until after the credits, you get this cool main menu screen with the cake sitting on a desk and the radio playing some music. Stay on the screen and don't touch anything. If you wait a while, the camera will slowly start to pan, revealing your best friend, the companion cube, sitting along with you once again. And for the 7th Easter egg, let's look at the Black Mesa references in Portal 1 and 2. As we said earlier, the keyboard didn't actually have anything to do with Half-Life, but I swear these do. In Portal 1, in the room literally to the left of those keyboards, you can see that before GLaDOS killed everyone, someone was working on a presentation on why Aperture Science should be getting federal government grants instead of Black Mesa. The PowerPoint shows how Aperture has been getting passed up on almost all of their proposals, how Black Mesa has overpaid personnel given their limited skill set, and how they're not bound to government performance and result acts. Basically, it's an absolute roast of Black Mesa. Then if we hop over to Portal 2, at the end of Chapter 6, before you get GLaDOS, shoot a portal on top of this catwalk. Walk to the left into the office and head for the corner of the room. If you jump on top of this desk, you could see a secret door that is being partially covered by a filing cabinet. Go through the door and head down the hall all the way until you reach the final door on the right that has been busted down. Walk through that and you'll see the lost ship of Borealis. If you haven't played Half-Life 2 Episode 2, the Borealis was explained to be an Aperture Science made ship that could open portals to other dimensions. Something went wrong though, explained in this clip from Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
Our peers at Aperture Science were at work on a project of some promise, but in their rush to beat Black Mesa for funding, they must have compromised ordinary standards of risk. We heard their research vessel had simply disappeared, vanished, with all hands, and even part of the dry dock.
For our 6th Easter egg, let's check out the Peabody Cameo in the single-player campaign. On Chapter 8, Test Chamber 15, quickly look to the right where Wheatley is constructing the new area, and you can see Peabody standing by the door. He gets startled at the sight of you and runs away before you can do anything though. I never caught this my first time around, and as far as I'm aware, this is the only time these characters have any interaction with each other. Halfway done. Let's stay in Portal 2, but go back to Chapter 3, Chamber 16, for our 4th spot on this list. So right away in the chamber, you'll have to run past a turret that is blocked off by a grate. Keep that in mind, because he holds the secret to this one. Go through the level like normal until you take the turrets out in this hallway. Once you do, grab the cube and put it on the button. Then grab the reflection cube and place it by this corner. Now pop a blue portal in the laser and an orange portal on this part of the wall. If you did it right, the laser should be hitting the turret behind the grate. If not, just move the cube until it does. Once he blows up, the grate will come flying off, and you can crouch to get where he was. Keep walking until you get to these turrets down here, and you can hear them singing. This next Easter egg will probably be one of the most shocking. Everyone remembers one of the funniest jokes GLaDOS says in Portal 2.
Wait, this next test does require some explanation. Let me give you the fast version. There, if you have any questions, just remember what I said in slow motion. Test on your own recognizance. I'll be right back.
Well, let's take her advice and listen to that in slow motion.
And methodically walking people's heads off, then I count my time and get the scene as soon as I can.
So if you were lucky enough not to be forced to read this in English class, that was a quote from the book Moby Dick. I always wondered what she said when I first played this. For the 3rd spot on this countdown, it's gonna have to be the Ratman dens in both Portal 1 and Portal 2. Here's some quick lore for you. Doug Ratman is a former Aperture Science employee. He was one of the few survivors when GLaDOS flooded the enrichment center with neurotoxin. Throughout both games, you can find little areas where he was hiding from GLaDOS in, along with warnings for the player that the cake is a lie. These look like drawings from a madman, and in Portal 2, there are a lot of murals of the player that Ratman drew. Not a lot of context is given in the game, making these dens even more eerie. Alright, for the runner-up, we have an Easter egg that's not even in the game, but just stay with me on this. You know how I was just talking about the Ratman dens? Well, in the first game, there's a den in Test Chamber 17, the one where you first get the companion cube, and it has something that sticks out. If you move this security camera, you can see that it has a login that reads C. Johnson, and a password that says Tier 3. And right next to that in red letters, it says, "Trust me." Now, if you went to ApertureScience.com, it takes you to a DOS prompt where you could actually log in as Cave Johnson and play around. This is awesome, but my favorite thing was the application process. It has you answer what feels like a million questions, tells you to memorize this extremely long string of flashing numbers and letters, and it asks you repeat questions, where if you answer wrong, it'll call you a liar and ask how it feels to be a liar. Unfortunately, this website changed when Portal 2 came out, and now if you go to the Aperture Science website, it shows a rotating camera in a Christmas themed room with a choir version of Still Alive. And for the number 1 spot, we're looking at the Ratman Transmission in Portal 2. We have huge spoilers for Portal 2 in this one, so if you haven't played it already, skip to this part in the video. Alright, now that those nerds are gone, let's talk about it. In Chapter 2, Chamber 6, you'll come across this button that if you press, drops a bunch of garbage instead of a cube. Well, don't discount it all as garbage just yet. We need that radio that falls with the rest of the other stuff. The tricky part is you're gonna need to grab it mid-air, so it doesn't fall into the water. Once you have it, go back to the start of the course and place a portal here and here. Then grab the radio again and jump onto these things. You'll be thrown into another one of Ratman's dens, but this time the radio will start to freak out and play what sounds like Morse code. Well, apparently there's some real sleuths in the Portal community, because they found out that if you play the audio from this radio into an SSTV, slow scan television, this picture appears. And wow, we see the companion cube and a cake on the moon. This spoils the end of the game, where you end up defeating Wheatley in space, and this can be found in only the 2nd chapter. To me, this had to be the number 1 spot, not only because of how crazy it is to find, but only Valve would pull off a move like this. Alright, and that was the list. What did you think? Am I missing some of your favorite Portal Easter eggs? Let me know in the comments below if I missed one of your favorites, or if you think my list was in the wrong order. As always, if you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe, and make sure to hit that little bell right next to the subscribe button to be notified every time we upload. Thank you again so much for watching, and have a great day.